everyone. Welcome to the slightly scary Unitarian Universalist Church of Chattanooga. I am the Reverend Mandy. Pretend I am a ghost is my Halloween costume, and my pronouns are she and her. Today we're going to talk about what scares us a little bit and how we use that to build strong hearts to do justice in the world. Welcome to all you ghouls and goblins and Steves from Minecraft, doctors, witches, anyone dressed normally, you are welcome here too. This is going to be a little different. It is not a multi-generational service. However, it will have a multi-generational dance party during the Time for All Ages, because we're going to have a costume parade or just a parade, whatever's your choice. And we're going to do some dancing and listen to some amazing music by the group, as we say. G-R-U-U-P. First bad joke of the day. In this space, I'm in a different place. Oh, you got to turn it on. In this space, we have, can you switch to the next slide? In this space, we acknowledge that this land does not belong to us. In fact, no land belongs to anyone, if you think about it for more than a minute. Please join me in our land acknowledgement. At UUCC, we acknowledge that our church sits on Cherokee, Muskogee, and Yuchi land. Next slide, please. We are a people of covenant with each other. It is the way that we move through the world. Our covenant might have a personal note that is with something higher, a higher belief. Our covenant with the Spirit may be one of atheism or Christianity or any and all kinds of stuff in between and on the sides of that. We have a covenant with each other. Please join me in reciting that covenant. We journey together, bound in the interdependent web of existence. We embrace diversity, own our conflicts, and assume good intentions. When we fail, we begin again in love. Just as in compassion shall be our watchwords, and beloved community our goal. Next slide, please. It's the chalice lighting. And I would like to invite Cass up to help us light our chalice. Our chalice is like the light in the jack-o'-lantern, showing us the way through the night to find the best treats. It's a way to mark the beginning and end of sacred space, and it is our symbol as Unitarian Universalists. In the light of truth and the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. And next slide. I don't think I have batteries. Okay. So this is a very musical Sunday. So our opening is something, if you know the words, you can sing along. If not, just relax and sit back and enjoy the group's music. I'm ready.
I know that you think that I ain't nowhere. Well, baby, listen to me. because I'm ready, ready as anybody can be. Yes, I'm ready for you. I hope you're ready for me. Rich, what do you got to say? I'm drinking gin like never before. I feel so good, I want you to know. One more drink, I wish you would. Takes a whole lot of loving, make me feel good, 'cause I'm ready, ready as anybody could be. Now I'm ready for you, and I hope you're ready for me. What are we doing? Well, I'm ready, ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
And tell us about what you're dressed up like today. I do need a microphone, Rich. Can I borrow?
Yeah.
Does anybody have a Halloween costume they would like to announce? Oh, okay, hello. Can I guess first? You're too young. Who are you?
I'm a dead cheerleader.
A dead cheerleader. Terrifying. Yeah, okay, stay up here, dead cheerleader. Who else wants to come tell us who they are? Anyone? Oh, look, oh, woo! All right, come on up, come on up. I had a guess, but I bet I'm wrong. Who are you?
Wednesday.
Wednesday. Woo! Another. Anyone else want to announce who they are? I see somebody coming up, making an announcement. Oh, a chainsaw. Ah!
This is my dog.
It's his dog. His dog is a chainsaw. All right, come on up, witches. All right. Anybody else want to tell us what they... Oh, I see a strawberry.
The dogs are dressed up.
I like this strawberry. Or is she a tomato?
She's a strawberry.
She's a strawberry. That's much better. Oh, look at that. And are you a doctor still? No, what are you now? A queen. Is that what you said? Queen of what?
Yeah.
Of suckers. Queen of suckers. Oh, there's the pom-poms. Oh, I see some more ghastly creatures coming to the front. Uh-oh.
Were you all dressed up?
What are you? Do you have some... I heard of people who have this. They have something under their dress. Oh! Oh! It's Spider-Man! Wow! Spider-Man. I see some adults who... Any adults want to show off who they are? Come on up. All right. Oh, it's a skeleton.
Yep, just a skeleton.
Just like I'm just a ghost. It's cool. We're comfortable. We're comfortable. Oh, I see somebody else. You can stay up here.
That.
Yay. Oh.
I'm a wise woman.
A wise woman. Nice. Anyone else I see? Come on up. Oh, where are you?
I don't see her.
I don't see. Who are you? Waldo lost their voice. Aw, but we know who you are, so that's very fun. Okay, who's next? Oh, swords. Okay. I have a stick. Okay.
I belong to the fire swords.
Ah, the fire sword. Nice and scary. All right, come on up. Scary, slightly scary. Everyone's welcome here. See, I have a fear of a bag on my head, so I'm kind of having trouble with this one. Who are you?
From the game Undertale.
Sans? Okay, look at that. All right, I see the next person.
This morning, I was the eldest Sanderson sister, but my sisters abandoned me, so I'm a green lampshade.
All right, so without further ado, please rise in body or spirit, woo, and join us in the Monster Mash. Here, oh, and I sweated on the microphone. I'm a little sweaty, I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Yard smash. It caught on in a flash. He did the monster mash. My laboratory in the castle east to the master bedroom where the vampires feast. The ghouls all came from their humble abodes to get a jolt from my electrodes and did the mash. The monster mash.
Do you want to do
It was a graveyard smash.
Do you know how to do the
It
limbo?
caught on in a flash. His son. He was rocking. Oh, we're digging this now. Igor unchained, backed by his baying hounds. The coffin bangers were about to arrive with their vocal group, the Crypt Kicker Five. Was the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It caught on in a flash. It did the monster mash. Out from the coffin by just one thing. And said, whatever happened to my Transylvania twist? It's now the mash. It's the monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. It's caught on in a flash. It's now the monster mash. Now everything's cool. Cracked the part of the van. With my monster mash, it's the hit of the land. For you, the living, this mash was meant to. When you get to my door, tell them Boris sent you. Then you can mash. Do my graveyard smash, then you can pay it or lack.
All right, and now, thank you.
Blessed is the path you take, may love guide you on your way.
Whew. I'm warm. Okay. We'll let the sound dissipate. And the grown-ups take a deep breath since we got through that dance number in one spot. I want to just give a little insight into what's going on right here. This is our ancestors' altar, and at the end of today, I will put this stick there. This is my best friend's walking stick, and I lost her this year. And so the reason I bring that up is it doesn't need to be a picture. It can be all kinds of things that represent someone who we're missing or is lost. It doesn't have to be someone who you knew. I have been really calling on the patron saint Frida Kahlo lately in my own way. And I have been studying a photograph of her lying in bed painting and hearing the words, "Don't quit." So that's been really a comfort to me lately. The leaves are changing. It is the time of year where we think about sad and scary things to prepare us for when the real dark comes. There is an underlying tension with the upcoming election. People often times during the holidays who were pretty ready to go tend to die. So that's another hard thing about this time of year. We're traveling, we're centering in our own selves and spirits. And I think having a place like this to acknowledge our grief is real, but our joys are real too is really important, really. So we're back to the rocks and water, mostly because I didn't want costumes to catch on fire today, because I'm a careful lad like that. And so anyone who hasn't been here before, just to remind you, you're invited to step forward and get a stone. And this works at home with any rock, remember. And get a stone and just give it something you need to let go of. I need to let go of how much I'm missing my friend lately. Not let go of it, but I'd like the edge off, just a little bit. Our birthdays are really close, and they're coming up, and this is a time where I will feel her presence greatly. So I'm going to put, that's all in this rock. I don't know if it'll fit, by the way. And then I drop the rock in the cleansing water of this community, and it gives me a moment to center and let go and realize what a great place we're in here today, even in this moment, in this time. And if you don't think Heaven and Beloved Community is dancing to the Monster Mash, I have another thing to tell you about that. But as you come forward, please feel free to put a stone in the water. I'll be over here by the ancestor altar. If you'd like to visit that and leave something, you have this week and next week. If you'd like a hug, I'm down, but I'm really hot from dancing, so maybe we can fist bump today. So with that, please come forward and share your joys and concerns. I'm still hugging, don't worry. All right. There's a space in the back if you'd like to do this ritual in the back as well. Spirit of love, hold us. Hold us in the moments when our hearts are lonesome. Hold us in the moments where we pray to say the right thing. Hold us in the moments of exploration, and especially hold us in the times that lead us to our authenticity. Bring us together in spirit when we need each other most, and always remind us that we have this space to come back to. May it be so. So now I think I lost the clicker on top of that wasn't working. Great. I have one more slide, but I don't need, okay, I'm gonna put this stick down because I'm gonna fall over the stick, which isn't really the purpose of having a walking stick. So I went to one of my childhood prophets in trying to think through fear and ways to overcome it. And so, of course, Frank Herbert came to mind. And even though fear is the mind killer. And even though this looks kind of like a Catholic thing, I actually am going to use it to demonstrate something that can happen when we face our fears. There's no fancy Catholic stuff in there, I promise. So who has read or seen Dune? Most. Who knows when someone says fear is the mind killer, we're talking about Dune? Who knows that he was quoting Shakespeare? The John Gabar was what was going to kill him in his neck if he didn't put his hand in the box. And the witch, the Bene Gesserit witch, was testing him and making him pretty mad if you've seen it or read it. He's growing increasingly angry. Now I'm scared of the box. All right. As he was, he's growing increasingly angry. First of all, he does not appreciate, nor has anyone ever talked to him the way this witch is talking to him. She tells him to sit down. She excuses his mother from the room. Now he is, if we want to put this in learning about our identity terms, the quintessential white man with power. And he will bow down to no woman, and yet fear is what holds him at bay. He is obeying her, but at his great upset. Now, I have things I'm afraid of. I'm sure all of you do too. I don't like hospitals particularly very well. I chose to work in prison instead of hospital during my religious training. That's how much I don't like them, but it doesn't mean I won't go. I do on occasion. It's one of my fears, and one of the ways to deal with your fears is to become desensitized to it. You grow stronger, but here's the deal with this situation. So in this box, if you've seen the movie, is burning, right? And burning is something that is particularly outside of the reach of our thinking brain to deal with. In fact, if you're burned, the mammalian part of your spinal cord reacts to that. It's not you going, oh, I'm going to move it away. You are moving your hand away before your brain perceives you are burned. And so for Paul to stick his hand, see, I'm scaring myself, to stick his hand in the box, his fears are the amount of mind control, the amount of control over his body to not pull his hand out of the box. And if you see the movie, the last one they made, or I also like the Sting version. I was in high school, and he was my favorite. That was a weird version of Dune, though, but you know. But I didn't go to see Sting. I went to see the scene in the book where Paul puts his hand in the box. I went to see that, and I learned about it in a new way when I saw it. I learned through the body language and the stance of the people that he was overcoming much more than just being afraid of a box. And he gets to a point, and his hand is like cooking at this point, right? It's really gross. And he gets to the point where the witch has had enough. He resists it until it's gone too far. And he doesn't call it quits, but she does. And in that moment, things change. For example, they're not changing right now like I thought they would. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make it stop, by the way, so we'll just have to listen to it for a while. Knox, I'm sorry. Do you want to smell it? Oh, that's over. Okay. I have been more nervous about that moment for the last 3 days and scared than you can ever imagine, thinking that the tape would stick and a dog would attack me, because that is my luck. A beautiful, kind dog with a reputation for helping people. So the point is, jump scares are the love language of my family.
Oh, no.
And my husband gave me that, and I thought there was cake in it. And I was so mad and happy and laughing and all the things. Fear has this thing that it does for us. It bonds us as people. It lets us know who's on what side, right? We can talk all heady Frank Herbert if we want to, but I want to talk about the day that my dad scared me. I mean, he scared me a lot. Can I have the next slide, please? Ooh. My dad was not a particularly huge man, but he was bigger than me, and I grew up in a house with a wood stove in the basement. And the way hillbillies do, we had no ducts to our vents. It was just the heat from the wood stove coming up through the holes in the floor, like that radiant heat fancy stuff. We figured that out a long time ago. So needless to say, walking across those openings in the floor scared me when I was little. You could see all the way to the floor of the basement through that hole, that glittery light. And I always stepped carefully across those. But what I didn't expect was my dad to ask me and several other teenagers to carry 2x4s down the steps one day to the basement. And for him to stick his head through that hole, upside down, with hair and beard flying everywhere, going blah, 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 blah. We couldn't get away. We were holding a 2x4. We didn't know how to let go of it. That mammalian reptile brain was holding onto that thing for dear life, and every time we tried to turn around, we'd hit a wall really hard with a 2x4. Clunk, 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 clunk. My dad didn't have a very good, well, my stepmom would say, that way I don't have to speak ill of the dead, that he didn't have any empathy, and I don't know if that's true, but when it came to scary stuff, he really didn't. My tolerance for scary stuff is pretty low, considering my empathy level is kind of high. Like, I'm always trying to relate, always trying to figure out what someone needs. But my dad really didn't take into consideration that maybe taking me to see The Exorcist at the drive-in was a bad idea. I remember Invasion of the Body Snatchers from the inside of my down coat in the movie theater. And I remember how that fear drove me into this little hole of the bathroom during Nightmare on Elm Street, to read the dictionary because it was before cell phones and the only thing in my purse. I don't even like medical dramas. Listen, I watch competitive painting shows from England. I just can't handle it. But here's the weird thing. The other thing I watch are like really deep, yucky, like why are cult leaders doing this kind of shows. Equally, also like fascinated with brain chemistry and like epigenetics and all that stuff. So that's more of what I'm gonna watch. But I will read scary things, and I will get in a habit on occasion of watching ghost hunting shows. Not only did that man take me to see that movie, which made me not be Catholic probably in that moment, but also my granny fully 100% believed in ghosts. Like really believed in them and told stories or was messing with us or both. You know how you can get in that both category? There was an old farmhouse on the property, and apparently when it got torn down, all the ghosts moved to the next house. You know, that kind of BS that keeps kids in their beds at night instead of wandering the streets. She really believed it, though. You could just tell. And she really particularly liked Halloween and this time of year because she could be kind of spooky and get by with it. I remember her almost beating my father, who was 50, in front of me for stepping out from behind the barn and almost killing all of us kids when he just said, "Monsters." He never did anything aggressive. He would just say really terrifying words like "boo" or "monsters." And then if you have this granny that has you a little scared of the pine trees because somebody lives in there, it's a rough walk on the farm at night. I am a person who scares easily, and what's really interesting about this, those of us who feel like this like being afraid, like this time of year. The things that scare us we like, and there's a reason for that. It helps us get ready for when something really happens. It gives our brain a run through of that fight or flight practice that we have to do sometimes in real life when rough stuff happens. I am so scared of blood. I mean, not scared of it like it makes me pass out. It's why I don't do forensic science anymore. It's bad. The other thing I am terrified of is public speaking. And here I stand. I was talking to Andre a few days, and I said, I figured out why I have a stomach ache every Sunday morning. And he said, what? And I said, well, we go to the grocery store on Saturday, and I have ice cream. I think that I'm lactose intolerant. I'm always trying to find a reason to react the way I do. I think. So last night, to prove that was true, instead of me being nervous about Sunday morning, I didn't eat the ice cream. Guess who had a stomach ache this morning still? Guess who, even though I face my fears to a point where I have big comfort with it, still gets nervous. And pulling a stunt that may or may not work will set me on edge. I was trying to be nice this morning, but I was sweating and nervous, and it was rough. I have this thing, and some of us do, where we're not quite in step with the rest of the world and we trip over a lot of stuff. Anyway, that's definitely me. But in order to practice being afraid or disappointed, it actually helps us balance those things. In fact, seeing those movies releases endorphins in our brains as if we had actually seen it. But the good news is you can leave at the end. Or if you're 7, zip yourself completely into a hot coat and plug your ears. What is your fears? What are you afraid of? What really holds you up? I'm pretty scared of the election this year. I don't want to lie about that. I'm pretty afraid of that. And so maybe I've been practicing the worst case scenarios in my head as to not be scared, but I still worry. I have realistic worries in my head. Being afraid of that seems pretty relevant. My fear of bureaucracy, maybe not. They are kind of connected. We have a spectrum of fears and things that we react to differently. And even though we become desensitized to them, they're still relevant and important in our brain. Our brain was built to be afraid so that we would survive when we got outside of the cave, right? Like we wouldn't get hurt. So right now, if we're feeling a little edgy or scared because of politics, I think it's really normal. And one of the things we can do is stop holding on to that day and start planning ahead a little bit. What are you going to do that day to comfort yourself? What are you going to do on a day that's particularly hard? We focus on needing those coping mechanisms when something terrible happens, but we really need them a lot. We need the coping mechanisms of knowing when the fear is over, we're still going to be alive. Like, I hate shots. I have survived every one I've gotten so far. Right? And sometimes when we think of that, I will not fear. Fear is the mind killer. And we think of that saying, let me read that to you. That can really help. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fears. I will permit it to pass over me, through me. And when it's gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see the path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing, and only I remain. Only I remain at the end. And the fear is a mental process, and I have choices about that. And if I'm being authentic, I have choices, and I want to say something that feels like the gospel and the good news all at the same time. This particular religion is the only one I know of that thinks you're explicitly good, just period. So many other faiths are based on the fear of hell to make you a good person that they have used this innate part of humanity or personality, whatever we want to say, to make us behave in a certain way that it is not okay to ask questions and not okay to develop a relationship with our fear, knowing that it is part of what makes us human, to be afraid. And what a revolutionary gift we have, even if it's just this Sunday, to be in a space where everyone knows that you are baseline wonderful. What does it mean to be in a place where even ghosts are kind of cute and maybe not as bad as everyone said they've been? I've been thinking about that. Why aren't there more Casper the Friendly Ghost? Because you can't sell that. Be prepared. Use your fear as a tool, but don't let it make you do things that you don't understand. If you are afraid to talk to someone, reset your body and smile and keep going. Now, you never know if my dad's going to jump out from somewhere and scare you. But moving forward, even though those things will happen now and again, everybody's life has some jump scares. Moving forward, knowing that every shot I've ever had, I've survived. This is really awful. It is not the end of me. I will be okay. And there's a place and people who believe that I am good. Because I don't need religion to tell me I'm bad. I have a kind of mean voice already, that self-critic in my head. And I do a good enough job at that. I don't need a book or someone to tell me that. I need somebody to hug me and say it's going to be okay. I need someone to tell me that there is a space for us to survive and thrive together using all these things that have been labeled as bad, like spooky stuff and fear, as our tools into the future. And I'm honored to do that. And everyone's love language is different. And in my family, it's jumping out from behind the refrigerator. But that doesn't mean I do that here to people I don't know, right? We have to use our gifts wisely. And we have to use them for joy. And we have to get in a place of surprise and delight. And if we can't let go of our fears, sometimes that's not accessible to us. We're so worried about putting on our hand in the box, we forget that hearts are going to shoot out of it later, right? Go forward in this Halloween and in this election and in this space of spookiness as a time set aside to honor our ancestors and reflect on them in a positive way. Be friendly to each other, even if you like dressing scary. Don't trick people. And always look behind the door when you come to visit me. May it be so, and blessed be. Okay. This is a time in our service where nobody slips over these hearts, I hope. And we take up our offering. Our offering goes to all kinds of amazing things. We have religious education, justice. We're planning an amazing climate revival. All kinds of stuff is on the move here. And to support this community, every dollar counts, no matter if it's 1 or 50 or $1 million if you have some extra treats in your pocket. But it helps us join together on days like this so that we can be vigilant going into the future with love and justice. And with that, the offering will be gratefully received. I'm so sorry. Just the prelude. Please join me in our offertory response. We give these gifts freely, committed to our mission to care, create beloved community, awaken hearts and minds, resist injustice and act with compassion, embrace life and care for the earth. To this work we dedicate our offerings. All right, next slide, please. Oh, see, I said that was just the beginning. So if you would like to rise in body and or spirit and wash away a little of the gloom that I brought on and the scares of these terrible cards, Please do. We're gonna sing along with the chorus, which is the next slide, if you want to give it to us.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that have me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. I can see clearly now the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting on. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue sky. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue I can see clearly now the rain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been waiting on. It's gonna be a bright, sunshiny day.
Please be seated. Next slide, please. So what? So don't scare your children as bad as my dad scared me. Just think it was a bad practice. My cousin said that my dad was an effective parent. His methods were questionable. So I think that can be said about him. I just want to say, so what? I was a little surprised. Thank you for your kindness lately. We've had some big losses around here, just as far as members go, but I've had some really big losses. I lost my uncle a few weeks back and traveled to Ohio. He had a purple casket. I know I keep bragging about that. I lost my best friend, my first best friend, the person who introduced me to Andre Goheen, so a pretty important person. And then we've lost some beloveds here, Richard Ralston, John Beck. You know, it's just been a season of that. And I always come like prepared to help y'all, and then you help me back, and it's just so glorious. So thank you. That's so what. Halloween doesn't have to be scary to be meaningful. It is my family's holiday. My brother once had leg cramps so bad that he couldn't get up from hiding behind a barrel for me to show up from having been grown up and out of town. I kept getting texts or calls from my dad. When are you getting here? Caleb's really anxious. I didn't know he was having leg cramps. Like he couldn't. But we need to celebrate, and we need to have fun, and we need to honor our dead. And we can do that in a space that is different, in a space where our fear isn't death, a space where our fear is the things we don't know about it, but it's not held as a threat over our being, a punishment. It's the next thing we do. And with that, our service is ending. Can I have the next slide and invite Cass up here? Please join me in reading our chalice extinguishing. We extinguish this flame, but keep the light of truth, the warmth of community, and the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and share with all the world. Next slide, please. Ooh, if anybody's going to die on these, it's me, so please be careful as we exit. Also, we have a big week. There's pumpkin carving and painting happening outside right after the service. Standing out on Monday, Tuesday. Actually, there's something on November 1st that I wanted to bring your attention to. Judith, do you want to say something about Welcome Home? The death, because I think I'm going to go. Sorry, I keep stealing your microphone, Boris. Okay.
So, as some of you may or may not know, I work at Welcome Home. It's a hospice home for people who don't have anywhere to go at the end of life. Often they're people who are homeless. So we have a conference every year, and this year it's going to be on November 1st. The title of the conference is Demystifying Death. And we have some really good speakers from out of town lined up, as well as local speakers. So I'm forgetting the fee now. I think it's a...
Oh, it's in the newsletter. Just take a look.
Yeah.
And also, I think I was particularly interested because it had a storytelling element in
Yes,
it. I thought that would be cool.
There is a storytelling element by the main speaker, and then there's also singing at the end. So the both will be interesting. There are flyers out on the table if you want one. There are also a lot of
Words?
if you feel that financially you can't you can still come. Just let us know that you need to pay whatever. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, the CEO of the person I'm getting buried with is a speaker.
You're getting buried with a speaker, like right now, or?
No. Larkspur Conservation.
At Larkspur Conservation, apparently, M and the guest speaker at this thing will be buried near each other someday. Speaking. Oh.
That's not what he's the CEO of Larkspur.
Oh, you're not getting buried.
I'm getting buried with Larkspur. I'm
Not with him.
Later. Okay.
We don't judge around here. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm Judy Gallagher, she, her, president of your congregation this year, and I am one of those very anxious people about the election. But the board and several other people have expressed an interest of having a place to go to be with other people who are just as anxious as us Tuesday night on the 5th, not this coming Tuesday. So I've created this little, very quickly, so there's little typos in it that I tried to correct. Sign-up sheet if you're interested in coming here on election night, approximately 6:30 to 10-ish, and we'll open the space and be here for you to do that, to come sort of party, hang out, bring some food, drinks. We're not providing anything as a church, but you can bring stuff. It's also hinging upon not only enough people wanting to do this, but one of our great AV tech people volunteering to come.
I think I know how to do it well enough to turn that on.
Okay. All right. As long as someone can throw up whatever channel we want to watch the returns on, hopefully even a local one, so we can get some of the local returns, that would be great. So I'll leave this out there. Sign up that you want to come, and we'll go from there. Look for the newsletter and next Sunday for more info. Thanks.
Thank you. We've had a generous donation of alcohol that is stored at my home.
Wasn't specifically for this event, though, right?
Well, I thought it would help.
But we can bring it for the event, but that's not why I was donating
No. Just, my job is weird, and somebody said, I have all this booze I don't know what to do with, and I was like, I'm not leaving it at the church, so it's under my desk at home.
Okay. Any other announcements, Jen?
Good morning. On November 17th, we are going to be doing a soup potluck. Last year we did this in December, but this year we're doing it in November because we're flexible like that. We're calling it Super Sunday, and I know. And we're going to have a lot of crock pot soups and sandwich fixins and other sides, and we're going to all just eat together before the holidays get started. And we might have a group game or two for those that want to play. So anyway, there are sign-up sheets out there. The advertisement is on the board, and there are sign-up sheets out there. So if you would like to volunteer to make a soup and bring your crock pot, or bring some sides, bread, cold cuts, cheese, whatever you can bring, we'd love for you to come. Thank you.
We do love a party around here. Any excuse to eat soup.
Stick around, there's gonna be pumpkins that you can paint or you can carve, and it's gonna be so much fun, and it's gonna be such a great Halloween activity, and there's gonna be kids like this one, how cute, and you can eat really
celery.
cute or scary pumpkins.
That kind of scared me what she was eating. I didn't know, I thought she had a jellyfish. It's just a celery.
I'm the doctor, it's part of my costume.
Oh, you're Doctor Who and she's eating your costume. Great, everyone. All right, so nothing would be complete without an outro dance, rehashing in case you didn't get your groove in on the Monster Mash. Please rise in body and your spirits. Service is over. Let us dance away in peace. We have had a marriage in the church. Congratulations to Em and Jace. Woo!
It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes a sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, 'cause this is thriller night, and no one's gonna save you from the beast about to strike. You know it's thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer. You hear the door slam, realize there's nowhere left to run. You feel a cold hand, wonder if you'll ever see the sun. Close your eyes and hope that this is just imagination. Girl, all the while you hear a creature creeping up behind. You're out of time, 'cause this is thriller night. There ain't no second chance against the thing with 40 eyes. Girl, thriller night. You're fighting for your life inside a killer. Tonight, life running thumping, let's dance on this thing, on it Valerie. There's no escaping the jaws of this alien this time. Close to midnight, and something's levers lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, terror takes a sound before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks you right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, Ha 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 ha